This has been obviously a challenging time for people trying to learn important medical facts and take informed steps to protect themselves and then consider the wider context. So many people encouraged to find their own subjective political truths these days. Fox News coverage initially played down the pandemic to defend Donald Trump, an angle that morphed today into anchor Brian Kilmeade asking whether virus cures are being held back because some people don't like Donald Trump. Now, other misinformation may stem from more old-fashioned ignorance. The governor of Georgia says he just learned people can spread coronavirus without showing symptoms, something his fellow government officials have been publicly emphasizing for months. Now, those are examples from government and people in the media where it's literally your job to get the facts and check your sources. But compare that to the Wild West of internet or casual conversation where rumors and misinformation are spreading fast and they pose a public health threat. We've been tracking some posts online that range from false stories about infected toilet paper to false hope about a magic cure to basically false alarm panic from warnings that are exaggerated or flat out wrong. Now, the point here tonight in the midst of all this is not to lecture people who are scared and looking for information, especially information about new and complex topics. Our country's asking people to do basically a bunch of homework on a deadline under stress against the backdrop of flawed systems in our larger education apparatus, in our politics, as we just showed you, and in our healthcare system. So to get into this discussion tonight, we want to do something a little different. I'm joined by renowned doctor and former health advisor to President Obama, Zeke Emanuel, and best-selling author, nationally known radio host Charlamagne the God, co-host of The Breakfast Club, one of the most influential talk shows online and on air, broadcasting in 90 U.S. markets. Great to see both of you. Thanks for doing this.
Ari, what's happening, my brother?
What's happening? Thank you. What's happening, doctor? Here we go. Let me start it like this. Charlamagne, I know to be one of the clearest communicators out there. What do you tell people who are sometimes getting caught up in the false stories and the rumors, which could literally endanger their lives?
I would tell those people that nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. I would listen to the experts, and the experts give the best advice, and I think that advice is to stay home. Social distancing seems to be working. It seems to have worked in different places across the world, and being that none of us really know, like, that's the best advice, just to get out of the way. Like, you know, people are saying, oh, well, I can go out if I wash my hands. I can go out if I wear a mask. I can go out if I wear gloves. I don't know if that's true. Now they're saying that it's possibly airborne and you can just get it from having a conversation or just get it from breathing. So to me, it's like we're all in the movie The Quiet Place. So we're going to have to learn how to survive in silence. And I think that, you know, I'm going to have that silence in my home because home seems to be the safest place. So I don't care about what the president is saying, and I do got to put a lot of blame on the elected officials because they don't know, but they're trying to act like they know. So when you're the celebrity in chief, like, you know, Donald Trump, and you're like Devin Nunes in California, and you're saying things like, oh, well, you can still go out to public restaurants, or you can still be in school. Like, yo, you simply don't know. And it's okay to say you don't know because this virus is a foreign object that we've never seen before. We've never seen anything like this. We're all learning on the fly. So just stay your ass home, please.
Stay home and remember what you don't know. I mean, doctor, what do you think of the way Charlamagne puts it? Because some of what we're asking people to do cuts against the mood of being so empowered and being able to get your information wherever you want and find things that you agree with or find a piece of advice that you like. Lord knows in politics, people have all these different views and they're told that they get to have their own views, right? But here, we actually have to make sure we underscore to everyone there aren't multiple views on this. There's one view that's medical science, and ignoring it could hurt yourself. Right, doctor?
I agree with you. And one of the things I hope, learned from this, and it seems like even the president to some degree has learned this, is that science and facts in the end win. And if you don't listen to them, you could end up dead. It's not just all opinion. There are facts in the world, and those facts actually matter. I think the one little thing I would disagree with Charlamagne was his opening comment, don't listen to anyone. And then you backtracked a little and said, listen to the experts. I would say that there are some clear experts here. And one of the things the experts are really I think have been very good about is we don't know everything. There's lots of stuff we don't know about this virus. Like, for example, what's its impact on pregnant women? We don't know. We haven't had enough time to know its impact on pregnant women and its impact on the newborn baby. It appears that if you're in the late stages of birth, it doesn't have a big effect, but we don't know about the early stages. So the first thing is to be humble and modest. We don't know, and don't believe all the things that you're hearing out there. There are a few very, very clear items. And again, I think Charlamagne put them well. Staying at home is a good thing. All right. Washing your hands is a good thing. Staying 6 feet away from other people, not your intimate family, other people is a good thing. When you go out, wear a mask. Go out occasionally and stay far away from people. Walk in a park or walk along a sidewalk that has no other people, because otherwise you'll go crazy at home. And that also is not good for your mental health. Don't believe hucksterism. Snake oil salesmen come out of the woodwork all the time in these kind of circumstances, whether it's, vitamin C or it's chloroquine or whatever. At the moment, we don't have proof on anything. And so don't take anything thinking you're protected, because that's just garbage.
Well, and you mentioned mental health and all the obvious logical anxiety and other stimuli here. Charlamagne wrote a book going through some of his experiences with that. And for Charlamagne first and then the doctor, I want to play Dr. Fauci, who was just on Showtime's late night show after going also on with Steph Curry, the basketball star. It's been really striking to see government officials, which is what he is, in addition to being, of course, a medical expert, taking these untraditional means, because for this to work, as I understand it, according to the experts, it's not like most people can do this well. We really need communities where there are hotspots for everyone to do it well, so people aren't unknowingly sharing it. So first to Charlamagne and then the doctor, take a look at Dr. Fauci on this late night program.
Now, I know you deal with professional documents, real research, real numbers, and science. Have you come across this hoax about this flu, the coronavirus is actually caused by 5G antennas?
No, I haven't, thank goodness. As you guys know better than anybody, social media can really be advantageous for the spread of important information, but it certainly could be damaging for the spread of a lot of garbage.
Charlamagne?
Well, first of all, that's not just any late night show. That's Jesus Emanuel. That's the God's Jesus Emanuel. Salute to my guys, Bodega Boys all day. Okay. But no, I like Dr. Fauci. The reason I like Dr. Fauci because he clearly seems to know what he's talking about. And you have to meet people where they are. So if it's so much misinformation, whether it's coming from social media or whether it's coming from, our president, it's good when Dr. Fauci sits with Steph Curry on Instagram Live, or he goes and sits with Jesus Emanuel, because, like I said, he's meeting people where they are. We need real information. And that's why I said, that is, to me, that's the people to listen to. I listen to the experts on this. I'm a God-fearing person, so I believe in God, but I also listen to the CDC. And if the CDC is telling me to stay my ass home, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I've heard Dr. Fauci tell us to stay home 1 billion times in the past week or so.
God, CDC. You could also say, Charlamagne, that Dr. Fauci's competing to be the GOAT, greatest of all time, at least when it comes to our renowned medical leaders. Dr. Emanuel, as our medical expert, you get the last word here.
Well, I've known Dr. Fauci for 25 years, and I've learned a lot from him. And one of the most important things is Tony is very clear. When he knows something and he knows it's right, he'll tell you. And if he doesn't know, he'll also tell you. And that's really important in this moment. We should not overhype anything, and we should be very, very clear. And I do think he was quite clear. Social media can be a force for good here, and it can also be a force for evil and get people to do things that could really endanger their life. And it's very, very important that you listen carefully, but only to trusted sources of truth and science here, and not to people who aren't actually basing what they're saying on the facts. And it was very disheartening, as you played, the governor of Georgia saying, I didn't know asymptomatic people who feel normal could A, be infected, and B, pass on the virus. What rock have you been under? I mean, really, it's been all over, and you've got to really pay attention. And that's what's critical here. Pay attention to the facts. And you can't, as Charlamagne said, you can do a lot worse than listening to Dr. Tony Fauci.
Well, there you go. And to really fact check, look at your sources, look at CDC. Just because something is sitting out on the internet or because somebody that you otherwise like said it doesn't mean you can go repeat it. We owe that to each other as we get through this as a society. This was a special kind of conversation, and I feel more focused because of it. So my thanks to Dr. Emanuel and Charlamagne the God. Good to see you both.
All right, thank you. Dr. Emanuel, thank you.
Thank you for having us. Nice to meet you, Charlamagne.
Same here, Dr. Emanuel. I'll be listening to you now, too. You're a trusted professional.
There it is.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.